All right, so today we are going to be working in Command. Right now I am at the sign-in page for Command. I am at agent.kw.com. So if you're following along, go ahead and go to this website, and I'm going to sign in. So I'll go over here and enter my username and my password, and I will give you a moment to do the same. All right, once you're signed in, this will bring you to the Command homepage. And before we go in and start creating any marketing, there's a couple things we need to do in our settings. So from this homepage, we're going to go up to the top right, and you will click on your name. I'm in Scott's account, so I'll click on Scott's name. And from this drop-down, I'm going to click Settings. This is going to bring us into our command settings, and it first brings us into this applications page. So this is where you can see all the different apps that you have connected and can connect to Command. And I'm just going to point out the ones that are going to be relevant for today's class. So up at the top, you can see apps that are currently connected. So I'll point out this Facebook. So for post scheduling, our Facebook is connected. In Command, in our campaign section, there's actually a section where you can schedule out social media posts. So you can schedule them for Facebook and for Twitter. And I'll be going through that today. So we have our, so if you wanted to utilize that feature, you would need to make sure your Facebook is connected here. For any of these apps that you need to connect, if we scroll down, we can see some more. So for Twitter, we can schedule posts as well. All you would do would be to go over to the right, click Connect Account, and then it will bring up a sign-in page where you can actually connect your accounts to Command. So if you want to use that campaign section to schedule social media posts, you will want to make sure that your Facebook and your Twitter are connected. I'm going to scroll down and point out just a couple more. Then down at the bottom, we have this marketing section. So if you wanted to run any ads, we will be going through that today as well. You can actually run ads through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google AdWords. So if you wanted to utilize that, again, you would need to come down to this section and make sure that these are connected. You can see our Facebook is connected here. If we needed to connect more, we could just click Connect More. This is actually where your Instagram is going to pull from as well. So if you are going to run any Instagram ads and manage them through Command, you'll want to make sure that your Facebook is connected, and then you can connect your Twitter and Google AdWords as well. And then down at the bottom, we do have two sections for email services. We have MailChimp and Command email. For today's class, I'm going to be showing you how to send out an email campaign in Command. And to do that, you do have to have a MailChimp account, and it needs to be connected here. You can see our MailChimp account is connected. And then this Command email, this is actually for your smart plans. We won't be going over smart plans today. Leah teaches an awesome class just on the smart plans and on campaigns. So if you are interested in that, definitely check out that class. But we will be going over the campaign section today, so you'll want to make sure that your MailChimp account is connected. And if you have gone through our setup process where you filled out our questionnaire, we sent you back a setup complete email, we would have set up MailChimp and this Command email and connected these for you. So if you have any trouble with these, or they're not connected, or you're having trouble connecting them, shoot us an email and we'd be happy to get this sorted out for you. So those are the main apps you are going to want to watch out for today. And those will make more sense when we actually get into creating the marketing pieces. And then there's one more section we want to go through in our settings real quick before we jump into designs. So over here on the left, I'm actually going to click on Connect Settings. And from here, I'm going to click Marketing Profile. So before you do anything in Command, it's really good to just come in here to the marketing profile and make sure that all your information is up to date. So some of the email pieces we will create today are going to pull your personal information from this section. Your website also brands itself from this section. If you did our questionnaire, we would have set this up for you, but if you ever need to come in here to make any updates, this is where you'd go. So if you scroll down, you can see there's a couple spots for a photo and a team logo. They do recommend that you have these in a 360 by 360 pixels size. If you have anything else other than a square, it does sort of distort the image, so we recommend that you at least have this in a square and it should work out just fine. And then if you scroll down, you can see more personal details that you can add in. So of course, anything with the little red star is required. So you want to make sure we have your first name, last name. You can add in additional information like your license number, team name, job title, and any designations or credentials you may have. There's a section for a bio. If you've done our setup and you didn't send over a bio, we put in just a nice generic one for you, but you can always come in and update that at any time. Some spots for mobile phone number and office phone number, as well as email. These are required. And then if you have a fax number or a website, you would want to add that in here. In this Market Center or Brokerage section, this is where your Market Center logo would go. You don't want to put your Market Center logo up here at the top. Only put something here if you have a team logo. Your office logo would go in this section. And then it does require your office information here, so office name, phone number, and address. Make sure that this is your office address and not your home address. There's some sections for compliance down at the bottom. We always put in this legal footer, each Keller Williams office is individually owned and operated. And then if you are from a state like New York or Texas that requires some additional compliance documents, you can throw those in here. And we actually set this up for you as well if you do our setup process. And then down at the bottom we have some spots for social media. So on your website and on different pieces, there are links for your social media pages. So if you have those and they're tailored to real estate, we'd recommend putting in the links here. We have some tracking options here as well if you wanted to utilize Facebook Pixel or Google Analytics. You could add in those codes here. And then your branded app link. So you want to make sure that your app link is here. Again, some of those pieces you create and on your website, you can add in a feature that says, click here to download my app. So you'll want to make sure your app link is correct and in this box. But once this is all good to go, you can just click save. This updates immediately. And that'll start branding out. And then if you wanted this to brand your website, you would want to make sure that this toggle is to the right and it's green, and then all of this information will help brand your IDX site. So now we're good to go. Our foundation is laid and we can actually go in and start creating some marketing. So over here on the left, we can see a menu of the different sections in Command. If you actually click on this KW up at the top left, it'll expand this menu and you can see the titles of each section. To get started today, we are going to go into designs. So I'm going to click on this section here. It looks like a little pad and pen or maybe a tablet. I'll go ahead and click on that. All right, this brings us into the My Design Templates section. This is basically a home for any pieces you have created in the past. Everything will be saved here. You can come back and access those pieces at any time. You can sort these by email, so these would be email pieces you've created, landing pages you've created, social pieces you've created, print pieces, your agent site pages. This is actually where you'd go to edit those, and then any videos. So if you ever need to access any of your designs from the past, this is where you find them. To create something new, we're going to go down to the bottom right and click on this plus sign. And it gives us a few options. So we have email, social, print, video, and we can also import a PDF. We're going to be going over social and print, and then we'll get to email later on. So to get started, I'm going to choose social. And then if you are creating a piece for a listing, I would recommend checking this box down at the bottom for import photos and text from a listing. This is going to make creating a piece so much easier. Oh no! Okay, there we go. It wasn't checking. This is going to make creating a piece so much easier. It'll actually pull in your photos and listing information from KWLS, and you can easily add those into the pieces that you're creating. You won't have to manually upload them. You can if you want to, but if it is for a listing, I'd recommend checking this box, and then we'll go ahead and click Next. All right, this does bring up that KWLS search. It's going to show 0 results at first. Right now it is showing all listings. If you wanted to, you could switch this to only My Listings. And then if you were an agent that had listings, they should appear here. And then if we switch this back to all listings, it will go ahead and populate all the listings from KWLS. And you can search for the listing here. You can search by property address or MLS number. And I'll just search by address. I found my listing here, and I can click Select, and now it's going to pull over the info from this listing into designs for me. All right. So over here on the left, you can see all these different templates that we have available to us. So right now we're in social. If you wanted to create anything from print or for print, you would have to go back, which we'll do. But I just want to point out everything over here, these are all going to be social pieces. So we have some Instagram pieces for the app. That's what it first brings up. But you can click through these different sections. So listings, buyer, lead gen, business basics, leadership, new designs, and pivot. So for example, if I were to go into listings and then click just listed, you can see it kind of breaks it down a little bit more. So I clicked on just listed, and now I have pieces for these different social media outlets. So I have pieces for Facebook, Instagram, and you can see when I click through these, they are different sizes. So this is the right size for Facebook. You can see for Instagram, it's a square. Instagram stories, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You can see for every one of these, it does have different options for each different website. These pivot ones, these are kind of tailored to, like these are Zoom backgrounds, which is pretty cool. There's some Instagram pieces as well. Some new designs, some gratitude pieces, things like that. So you guys can click through these and check out these awesome pieces. There are also some email signatures in here, a couple email signature templates, and then some social branding. So Twitter covers, LinkedIn covers, and Facebook covers. So lots of good stuff in here. But we're going to create a just listed piece today. So I'm going to go back up to listings and click just listed. And then I think this one looks kind of fun. So I'll go over here and put my mouse over the design I'd like to use and then click Use. All right, so here's my piece that I'm going to create. You'll notice that for these social media pieces, there isn't a whole lot of content on here. For these, you'll want to keep the piece itself pretty simple and then put any additional information like a property description or things like that in the body or the text of the post. So now let's just start editing this. So editing these pieces is really simple. So let's say, for example, I want to start with this photo. I'm going to click on the photo here. This is the one I'd like to change. And I have a few different options. If I wanted to upload an image from my computer, I could go over here. We are in this images section you can see over here on the left. If I wanted to upload an image from my computer, I could click Add. And if I click here, it'll actually allow me to browse my computer and search for images on my computer. We do have some stock photos in here, so I'll just go ahead and pull one up. So now it's allowing me to search for a photo and upload this photo from my computer. There we go. So if I wanted to switch this out, it's really simple. I've clicked the photo over here on the right, and then I can go to my image over here in my imported images, and you'll see this little replace image button. If I go ahead and click on that, you can see it switches it out. It might take a second to load. And that'll eventually load. I know it looks kind of blurry right now, but you can see it's really easy to switch these out. But since we went ahead and selected a listing from KWLS, I can very easily switch out all of this information with that KWLS info. So I'm going to click on this photo again. And then over here on the left, I'm going to select the option for KWLS. And you can see it already pulled up my listing, and it actually went straight into the photos. So I can go over here into the listing photos and scroll through them, find a photo I like, and then put my mouse on top of that and click that replace image button again. And there we go. You can see it added in my listing photo. If I needed to adjust this at all, I could click on the image here, and you can click reposition. So if it crops it kind of funny, you can, depending on the size of the photo, you can move it around just a little bit. That looks good to me. So you can see it's very simple to switch out the photo. So it's going to be the same sort of process for the listing details as well. So let's say I wanted to switch out this price. I can click on this and then go into listing details. You can see it has everything broken down over here. So this is the text that it's going to put in the piece, and then down below is like what that category is. So I'm going to look for price, so current price. Found that here. I can click this replace button. You can see it added that in. It's also really easy to just click and edit. So I don't want this to say USD. So I just double clicked in this box and I went ahead and deleted that. For these sections over here, where it says 3-bed, 2-bath, and then the square feet, you can find them over here, but it's just going to replace this with a number 3. It won't say 3 bedrooms, so I would probably just manually edit these sections. So this is a little confusing to me. Oh wait, 3 bathrooms, 2 full bathrooms, and 1 half bathroom. So I'm just going to do 3, 1. If that's not correct, I apologize. I'm not a realtor, but you guys know the best way to add that in. And then I'll go into the square feet, and I'm just going to double click on that, manually change this out. There we go. And then you can edit this as well. This says just listed. If you wanted to, you can change the font by going up to the top. You can see there's a bunch of different fonts in here. You can change the font type. You can change the size over here. You can make it bold, change the colors. So you can see everything in here is pretty customizable. We do want to change out this logo as well. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to, let's see, click on logos. So I'm trying to get back to my images section. There we go. So sometimes this images section won't pop up right away. You'll have to kind of click around on here and maybe click on another image and this will pop up. So I do believe I have a logo saved in my library. You'll notice that with the logos, that's the only thing you can't use that replace button for. So I'm just going to actually just click on this logo here. Whoop. There we go, click. And I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard. You can also hit this little trash can button here for remove, and that will take out the logo. And if I wanted to add this one in, I could either click use image, Or I can actually just drag it over if I'd like. And there we go. Looks good. There are also some generic KW logos in here. If you go over to this logos section and then go to company, you can go into the different sections and you can see there's just some generic KW ones. So if you need to use any of these, you can do that as well. There we go. But this looks good to me. Oh wait, we actually need, just kidding, we need to switch out the address. I'm going to click on the address at the top, go over to KWLS again, and then find this property address section, hit the replace button, and there we go. It doesn't put the state in, so I'm just going to double click, add in the state, and then we can make this bigger. It's a little small. Make this a lot bigger. And then adjust this so all the text fits. And then you can see when I actually click on these different things and move it around, these awesome grid lines pop up. That's just going to be a really nice way for you to make sure that your pieces are all aligned and symmetrical and looks good. All right, so now this piece is good to go. You can, of course, edit this as much as you'd like, customize it, move things around, delete things, but you can see that editing these pieces is pretty simple. So now we definitely want to save this. So I'm going to go up to the top right and you can see this rename template section is here. So I'm going to do 2201 Milan, just listed FB for Facebook, and hit enter. And that's saved. And now we have a few options of what we can do with this. So if you go over to this little down arrow, this turns into the download button. I can click on that. We have a few different options. If I wanted to, I could save this as a JPEG or a PNG. If this was a print piece, I could save this as a PDF. But either a JPEG or a PNG would be fine. I'd probably go with JPEG. And click Start Download, and this will actually save to my computer. So this is one option of what you can do if you wanted to save this and then post it. So this is a Facebook piece. You could save this to your computer, open up a new window, go to facebook.com, and then pop this in a new post. But actually today I'm going to show you another option within Command. We're going to go in and schedule a post on Facebook, and you can actually select your designs and import it directly. But if you needed to, you have this JPEG file. If you wanted to do it manually outside of Command, you can. Or even if you wanted to put this in an email, put this in the body of an email through your Gmail or whatever email you use, you could do that as well. So there's our piece. You can see it looks nice. All right, so I'm going to hit done. We're finished with this piece. And there we go. This brings us back to my design templates, and you can see my just listed pieces right here. I do want to show you how to create a print piece really quick. It's basically the same process. We're going to go down and click that plus sign. This time we'll click print. I am going to import my photos and text again, and then click next. Same sort of thing. I'm going to search for my property here. Click select. And now it's going to bring me into those print designs. So we have some really awesome options in here as well. It brings you into these app designs. So we have some postcards, some flyers, and more postcards. These are all tailored to the app. No, great question. So the question was, is it necessary to create a different piece for each social media outlet? No, it's not. So you can actually, since that was just a JPEG file, you can post that on Instagram. You can post it on Facebook. You can put it on Twitter. They're pretty much interchangeable. You can put them or post them wherever you'd like. They just offer the different sizes to have like the optimum size for whichever outlet. But you could make a square piece for Instagram and post it on Facebook. That's no problem at all. So it's really, whatever you think is best and what you prefer. All right, so I just want to point out a few of the pieces here. Of course, we have some listing pieces. If you're looking for a listing presentation, there are some beautiful listing presentations available to here. We do have a shorter video on creating these listing presentations, so I'd recommend checking that out because I won't have time to go through these today. But these are really, really great. Of course, different flyers. If I wanted to create something like a just listed or a for sale, you can see we have different door hangers, bifolds, more bifolds, trifolds, postcards, standard postcards, and flyers. We have these awesome neighborhood snap pieces. Again, we have a shorter video on this as well, but this is a great door knocking piece. So if you're working in an area, you can actually create these custom pieces for a neighborhood. There are flyers, door hangers, and postcards. And then different buyer pieces, lead gen pieces. There are some business cards and letterhead in here. You guys can go ahead and play around with these a little bit more. But for today, I just want to put together a quick just listed flyer. So I'm going to go into listings, click on just listed, and then flyers. Yes, yeah, so I am recording right now. I know I'm going through it kind of quickly. There's just so much to go over. There's a lot of stuff in Command. But I am recording currently, so this will be on YouTube and on our website later today. All right, I like this piece here. Yeah, of course. So, great question. You can go to, I'm just going to pop this up for you guys, SLMtraining.com. So and I'll put this in the chat for you guys as well. SLMtraining.com is a great resource, or also youtube.com/ScottLeroy You can search for basically anything on our YouTube page. This SLMtraining.com, it will ask you to sign in, so you just have to sign in with your Market Center number. But I'll just point this out real quick. So SLMtraining.com will bring you to all of our previous training, and you can see it breaks it down by subject. So command overview, command classes, so command training, websites, opportunities, database management, designs, and then it just shows you, the different classes that we teach. And when you click on any one of these, so if I wanted to go into just command training, it's actually going to bring you into our YouTube page. And you can see it is a playlist of all of our most recent command training. So this is a great resource. If there's anything that we didn't go over today, or you want to review or check out maybe a class you missed, you can find it all on here. And then, I know I'm going super quick, but if you're ever on our YouTube page, youtube.com/ScottLeroyMarketing, use this search feature. You can search for basically anything KW related, and we've probably made a video on it. All right, so yeah, this will be up on both of those later today. So back to my flyers, I'm in just listed flyers, and I'm going to select this design over here. So same sort of thing, very easy to edit. We're just going to click and edit. You can zoom in down at the bottom right so you can get a closer look at this. And I'm just going to go through and put this together real quick for you guys. So I want to switch out this photo. I'll click on the photo, go to KWLS, hit replace. I might want to reposition this a little bit, maybe bring it a little lower. There we go. I'm going to switch out these photos as well. There we go. So now I'll start to switch out the property details or the listing details. So I can click on that price again, find my current price over here, hit replace. Same thing with the address. I'll click on the address and find it over here on the left and hit replace. So you can see it's super easy to make these. So you can go in and create a flyer within just a couple minutes. I do want this bigger. Adjust that. Grab it, make sure it's centered. I think that's the center of the page. We didn't do this in the last one. If we wanted to switch out for the property description, you can see this has bullet points here, so if you want to follow that, you will have to manually go in and update this. But if you just want to use your property description, probably a paragraph that you wrote, you can see, hopefully you can see this, it's behind the support button, but it's, I believe it's the last thing in these listing details. It says property description. I'll go ahead and hit replace, and you can see it plugged in my paragraph for me. Move this down. I'm actually going to just delete that logo. Whoop. Double click on that. I think it was 3 and 2. Or 3 and 1. Switch out my square feet. Again, for these, you'll want to just manually update them because it's just going to put in the number. It's not, oh, actually this one says square feet, but you can either choose to hit that replace button or just type it in. Either way is pretty easy. And when it looks like this little square, oh, I don't know. Okay, that looks kind of funky. It looks like each of these, this little square was 4 different pieces. So if you mess up on anything, go ahead and hit this back button. And you can hit that as many times as you want. And that'll adjust for you. Oh, I know what it did. It's because this is too big. So you would have to, play around with this. I'm going to move this over so we have a little bit more room for our square feet. There we go. That looks good. I know I'm going through this pretty quick. I'll switch this out here. Have this say, I'm just double clicking. I'll say Scott Leroy. And then I can go through and update the rest of his information. I'm going to click on this to update the headshot. So you can see my images section isn't popping up again, so I'm going to click around. And okay, I'll click on logos and then try clicking on this. There we go. And now the images pops up. So you'll have to kind of play around, but you should be able to get back to where you're going. Hit replace on Scott's photo. There you go. He looks all perfect in that little circle. Throw in this logo down here. And there we go. So I know I went through that super quick, but it's basically the same process as when you're editing the social piece. But what you're going to do differently now, I'm going to zoom out. You can see that looks nice and pretty. We have a couple different options for saving. So we're going to go up to the top again and rename this. So I'll do 2201 Milan Just Listed Flyer. I just hit enter on my keyboard and that's saved. So now what we can do, we can go to download and click on this. We can still save this as a JPEG or a PNG. If you are going to be posting, this is a flyer, but if you save it as a JPEG, you can post this on Instagram, you can post it on Facebook, you could put this in the body of an email and email it to your clients. But if you're actually going to be printing this, you'll want to save this as a PDF. So I'll click Get PDF. If this was a multi-page document, you could choose which pages you'd like. And then the important thing, right now it's set to standard web quality. I'm going to change this to high resolution print. And click Start Download. And that'll save to my computer. There we go, and I'll just pop this open real quick, and you can see this created a beautiful print quality flyer. Yeah, that looks great. And as you can see, I went through and did that pretty quickly. So I love these designs in Command. I think they're really nice, really user-friendly, easy to create. And now I can take this and print it and advertise my listing. All right, so I'm just going to go back. I'm going to click Done. We've already saved. Everything's good to go. This will bring me back to my design templates, and if I ever need to come back to this flyer, I can access that here. All right, so that's about it for the design section. We're going to switch gears and go into our campaigns. I'm going to go over to the left, and we're going to look out for this little icon that looks like a megaphone. This is our campaign section. I'll go ahead and click on that. All right, this brings us to our campaigns dashboard. So through the campaign section, we can create paid advertisements, emails, direct mail, and social posts. I'm going to start with a social post today. So we're going to go over to social posts up at the top right. And this is basically a calendar of all of our posts that we have scheduled. So if we scroll down, we don't have anything here yet. But we can see a calendar, and it'll show us any posts that we have created. We can look at live and scheduled posts or any drafts. We actually have a draft right here. But to create a new post, we're going to go up to the top right and click Create a New Campaign. So if you're going to create any one of these things, you'll always go up to the top and click Create a New Campaign. And this time we will click Social Post. All right, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to work our way through these questions or sections over here on the left, and it's going to build our social post on the right. So our Facebook is already connected. We did that in the settings at the beginning of class. You can see that over here. It's good to go. So now let's go through and just start creating our post. So I'm actually going to start in this photo section. So I can upload a photo from my computer. I can add a link if I want to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose from designs. So this section here, this little bubble is selected for choose from designs. And I'm going to click Browse Design Library. So what this is going to do, you can see it brings us back to our saved pieces. These are all of our social media pieces we've created in the past. And here's that one we just created a few minutes ago. So I will click on this. And there we go, it's plugging it in. So it is wanting to post this as a square. So you'll want to go up to the top and click on this drop down here. I'm going to switch this to wide, and you can see it's the perfect size. I'll click crop, and you can see it's starting to build our post over on the right. So it plugged in that image, really easy to utilize that piece we just created. And now we're going to want to put in the information around it. So in the text, you'll want to add in probably your property description. So actually, let me go ahead and pull that up. I'm going to open up a new window and pull that up in KWLS. I should have had this pulled up already. I apologize, guys. So I'm just going to go into my listings section real quick, search for this. Yeah, great question. So I'm sorry, let me look at that real quick. I believe you were asking about stock photos. Is there any stock pics on command? So there are, I believe, when you're actually in designs. I'm sorry I didn't point that out today. There is a stock photo section with just a few, but we have some stock photo file or websites that we use as well. I was actually on one earlier called pexels.com. And I'll drop this in here for you as well. This is a great resource for stock photos. So you can go on this website here, pexels.com, and for example, I searched real estate. And all of these photos are free to use. And we do have a couple other ones. I don't remember them off the top of my head right now, but if you're looking for stock photos, shoot us an email and we can send you a couple links. But this one's great, pexels.com. All right, I'm just going to go into KWLS and pull up my listing super quick so I can get that property description. Oop. Here we go. So in my social media piece, we can see this, the piece itself just has like basic info about the listing. So in our text, the body of this post, we'll probably want to put our property description. So I just pasted that here, and I'll probably put something like contact today for more information. And that looks good. So we're just going to scroll through. You can add in additional photos, you can add in a video. And then it's going to ask us when we would like this to post. So we can publish this immediately. If we do that and click publish, this will post right away. But if I wanted to schedule this for ahead of time, maybe I want to schedule this tomorrow at noon, what I can do is I can click schedule post, click on this date and time down below, and it will allow me to choose a different time. So I'll choose tomorrow at 12 p.m. And then you don't actually have to click save or anything. If you actually just click away from this, you can see it updates the time. Make sure you have your page selected here. And now this awesome post that we just created is going to be scheduled. So I'm going to click schedule post. It's going to ask us if we're sure. I'll go ahead and click yes. Oh no, page identifier is required. That, I don't know what that means. I don't know if I understand your question. Can you see a functional draft? I want to experience actual usage. So when you, I think I know what you mean. So once you have this, I need this scheduled so we can actually see it. Okay, I'm thinking this is a glitch. I apologize, guys. That is a new message that I haven't seen. It says page identifier. Maybe it's asking, I'm just going to add in a logo. I think on the ads a logo is required. But I'm really thinking that is just a glitch. Okay, let's see if it's happier now. Huh, okay. Well, unfortunately, this is giving me a glitch right now. I don't really know why. But what you would do is you would schedule this post or publish immediately, and then if you were back on our dashboard, we could see all of our information here, all of our posts. So if this was to go out, you would actually be able to see how many people shared it, how many people liked it, and how many comments you got on it. It would display that information here. Man, that's such a bummer. There are also these suggested quick posts over here. You can utilize these as well. These are just posts that they've put together for you. So this one says like download my app. So if I wanted to use this one, and I could shuffle through different designs here. If I wanted to use any of these, I would just click on that. It always brings up this preview and crop image window for your DBA logo, and usually it just saves really quick and it'll exit out, but I'll go ahead and exit out of there. So when I clicked on this, it basically just pulled up this post already put together for us. So you can go through, make sure that this is scheduled, make sure everything is good to go. You can update this text or add in any additional photos or change that if you'd like. I'm going to hit click I'm going to click schedule post on this, and let's see. I don't know what that means. I'm so sorry, guys. Page identifier is required. Man, okay. I am so sorry. That must be a glitch right now because that's a message I have not seen yet. But then you would be able to schedule that out and see all of your drafts or current posts on this page. So I apologize, guys. If you have any trouble when you're working on this, shoot us an email or give us a call and we can definitely help. But that's the gist of using this social post section. I know we're getting toward the end of class today, so we're just going to wrap up with a couple more things. I'm now going to go over to our paid ads section. Over here you can create any sort of Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Twitter, or Google AdWords. So right now this is showing us basically a dashboard of any ads that we currently have set up. All of these are in draft status, but we would be able to see. No, great question. You would not. I think you can see a preview of it, but only in command. You couldn't see a preview of it live on Facebook. And for these ads, you probably won't see it actually on Facebook because it's going out to your audience. Like, it's not something that's going to show up on your page. It's going out to tailored people. So that'll probably make more sense when we go actually into this. But from this page, I could see any campaigns I currently have set up. I could see their status, their duration, how many clicks we've received, the total spent, and the goal. If I ever needed to, I could come back in here and edit these campaigns, but to create a new one, I'm going to go up to the top again and click Create a New Campaign. And this time I will click Social Ad. All right, it's going to ask us the name of our campaign. I'm just going to call this our property address. I want to do an advertisement for a listing. So I put in the property address as the name of the campaign, and I'm going to click Advertise Listing as my goal. And then down at the bottom, it asks if I want to run this on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I'm going to choose Facebook. And then Set Up Campaign. So this process is going to be pretty similar to when we create that social post. And it's trying to add in my logo, but it's going really slow, so I'm going to exit out of there. So I am choosing to advertise a listing, so I am going to go ahead and search for that here. It did bring up that KWLS search page. I'm going to search for that address one more time. Oh, it's set to only my listings. That's why it's not pulling anything up, so I'm going to switch this to all listings. And it's having trouble finding this one again. That's so odd. We just had it. All right, so I might just pick a different listing this time because it's not finding my listing. Let's see if I can find it by the MLS number. Or KWLS ID. There we go, MLS number. I'm going to see if I can find it this way. Oh, it's pending, that's why. There we go. All right. So I found my listing in here. And same sort of process. We're going to go through and basically complete these sections over here on the left, and this is going to build the ad over here on the right. So whoever's asking about that preview, this is basically the only preview of it that you will get. You aren't able to see like what this is actually going to look like when it is being shown on Facebook, unfortunately. So we're going to work our way through these different sections. I'm just going to minimize these. So name and goal, you can see there's a little green check mark here. We filled this out at the beginning, but if you needed to, you could change the name and change the goal. But this is good for me, so I'm going to click Save Name and Goal. We have our listing selected here. And the next section we need to go through is the add text. So I'm going to click on this and make sure that it's expanded. And you can see it plugged in some of the info for us. So for the main copy, it actually added in our listing description, property description. And you only have 250 characters here, so it didn't put in everything. Let me see where this ended. Yeah, it must not, I'm not able to put in everything. So you'll want to keep this kind of short and sweet, just a couple sentences. I'm just going to change that out for a period, and there we go. So you don't have as much room for text here as you did in that social post, since this is an ad. So 250 characters here. Headline, I'm going to say just listed in Madison. And then a property description. And you can see as I'm adding in this stuff over here on the left, it is appearing over here on the right. So description, it does give us some suggestions. You could be coming home to this. If we hit shuffle, it'll show us some more. Schedule a private tour with me today. View photos and videos of this home. If you wanted to use any of these suggestions, you could just click use suggestion. And there you go. Yeah, of course. I just didn't know this property description because it's not my listing, so it was easier for me to just copy and paste it in here. But if you want to write up something different, something completely custom, absolutely do that. You can definitely type in whatever you need to here. It just has to be under 250 characters. All right, my description, and you could switch these too. Like if you think that this main copy is going to look better down here at the bottom, you can do that as well. But this looks good. All of these sections are filled in. I can click Save Add Text, and now we have that green check mark here. All right, add media. I'm going to configure. It already chose a photo for us from the KWLS, but if I wanted to switch this out or add more, I could do that. The DBA logo is required here, so you have to make sure that you have your office's logo added in for the ad. I have a logo saved somewhere in here. Here we go. There we go. You can see it put it on top of the photo. And that looks good to me. So I'm going to click Save Add Media, and we have our little check mark. And now we can go into the channel option. So this is a Facebook ad. I need to configure this, so I'll click Configure. You have to select which account and then the page it's going to post on. So we're in Scott's account, and then he actually manages for a bunch of different people. So I'll just pick one. There we go. So this would basically be choosing your Facebook account and then your Facebook business page that's associated with the account. And now we have our destination and ad targeting. So we have a couple different options here. You can direct them to a site or landing page. This would be something that you created. So if you have a landing page with like a lead gen form that you've created and you want to use, you can put in a link to that here. They recommend using the Facebook lead gen form. Ooh, okay. I don't know. I don't think I know Scott's Facebook login. So it is asking me to log in. I'm not going to be able to go through and save this. I apologize. But it does recommend that you use the Facebook lead gen form. So basically, if anybody clicks on this ad when they view it in Facebook, it's going to pull up a lead generation form for them where they'll enter in their personal information, their contact info, and then that will actually come over into Command into your contacts. So they'll come over as a new lead, and you will be able to get that information. And then I believe that that info is also stored in Facebook as well through your through the ads section, so you would be able to find those leads in there as well. But they should pull over into Command, which is awesome. But for now, since I am not able to select that because it's asking me to reconnect Scott's account, I'm just going to put in a URL. So let's say I had a landing page. I'm just going to put in scottleroymarketing.com. So in this case, if anybody clicks on this ad, that's where it's going to take them to. Oh, yep. Actually, yeah. Yeah, no, so great question. Who exactly is this marketed to? And actually, so this down here, this URL, what it's asking for is the call to action label. So you can see there's a button here that says learn more. We can switch this to sign up, contact us, or apply now. And if anybody clicks on that, they're going to be taken to this website. All right, so great question. They were asking, who is this going to? So down here, the very last section says ad targeting. So it chose something for me. Since it knows that this listing is in Madison, Tennessee, it is advertising to people within a 20-mile radius of Madison. But if you wanted to, you could actually customize this. You can click Use Custom Settings. You can target your database if you wanted to by selecting that box. You could target a custom audience by location. So you can add in a city and a radius. Or if you wanted to add in any interests. I like to use the example, say this was a home in a golf community. You could put in like that their interests are golf or what have you. You can see there are a ton of different interests. In here it'll show you how many people are in that audience, so you can break this down as much as you'd like. They start by doing it just by the radius of wherever this listing is, but you can of course customize this as well. So that looks good? Yeah, you're welcome. I'm going to click Save Facebook Ad. The last thing we have to do before we can publish this is choose the duration and budget. So the minimum that you can do is $1 a day, I believe, for 10 days. And that's what they recommend. 10-day campaign with $1 a day. So I don't think there's a minimum for the days, but there is a minimum for the price. It's $1 a day. So it chose these days here. If I wanted to change this out, I could, of course, select different dates on this calendar. And then it's doing $3 a day. The minimum is $1. So I'll just change that. Nope, not 10 cents a day. Nope, there we go. There we go. Total campaign budget, 10. So $1 a day, $1 for each day, 10 days, $10 total. All right, so that looks good to go. I'm going to click Save Duration and Budget. So now we've gone through each of these sections. We've got our little check marks. And now we can publish the campaign. We can publish this or save it as a draft. I'm going to click Save as Draft. And now we can see the overview of our campaign here. And once this starts to run, we'll be able to get live information on it. We'll see how much we've spent, how many clicks we've gotten, how many leads. All of that information will be displayed here. All right, so that is actually going to be about it for today. Now we went over quite a bit of stuff, so if I didn't get to your questions, I apologize. Please shoot us an email or reach out to us and we'd be happy to assist you further. I'm going to pull up our website again so you can see our contact info. All right, so you can reach out to us either one of these ways. We are here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. Of course, the best way to reach out to us at this time would be through email. We answer our emails really quickly, so if you have further questions or need help configuring anything that I went over today, please reach out to us. If not, thank you guys so much for sticking around, and this will be on YouTube shortly, and we'll talk to you soon.